children. Welcome to the third episode of our series Power in Your Head. And today's one is going to be extra interesting because we are looking at how we can keep our brain functioning at the optimal level. The first two episodes have laid the foundation, telling you how powerful your brain is, telling you about the capacity of your brain, telling you about the potential of your brain, but nothing makes it as interesting as when you know how to get your brain to function at the best level possible. So today we are looking at how we can get our brain to function optimally so that all the neural connections that your brain has, all the capacity your brain has to expand, like your muscles expand when you work out, you will actually be able to get all the benefits, because that is actually what you need right now. What you need right now is to translate the capacity of your brain into excellent results. So are you ready? Are you ready as we go into this together? How to help your brain be at its best every time. How to help your brain be at its best every time. That's what we are talking about today. All right, so fun fact one about that is your brain works better when you sleep well. When you sleep well, your brain works better. So what happens in your brain when you sleep? It's like when you work on your computer and then you press Ctrl S. What does that mean? You are saving your data or you are saving your information. Or imagine your brain has a janitor. You know, your janitor is there trying to keep out the trash and trying to arrange the important things. That's exactly what happens when you are sleeping. Your brain is separating the junk from the healthy meal. That's exactly what it is. So sleep is like your brain's janitor. While you are snoozing, it cleans out old stuff and organizes new learning. So you are able to put things together better when you sleep better. Has it ever happened to you before? When you learn something and then you sleep, you wake up with a more organized understanding of that thing you learned. Or probably after you wake up, maybe when you're brushing your teeth, you just remember some of those things, and it's like a web coming together to form something meaningful. That is one of the importance of good sleep. You are working your system, you press Ctrl S, you save your work. Or you have a whole lot of things going on in your mind, you sleep. The sleep arranges everything, all the information in the right compartments of your brain. That is why it is important for you to sleep well. I recommend a sleep of at least 7 hours per day. And when you want to sleep 7 hours, it is very important also for you to have a regular sleep time and a regular wake up time. We call that circadian rhythm. I'm still going to teach you that because sleep is more efficient when it is programmed. So you have a time you sleep normally, and then you also have a time you wake up normally. So let me ask you a question. What time do you normally sleep? Do you think your brain is doing its magic when you sleep? Do you think so? Do you wake up with a more organized mind? Do you wake up having better ideas of what you studied in the night before? If you don't do that, if you don't wake up with a better organization of what you studied, then you might need to look at your sleep pattern. We'll talk about that in one of our videos. We'll look at your sleep pattern. But today, I want you to know that at least you need 7 hours of sleep, of good sleep every day. It helps your brain arrange the information, and it also helps you to say. So it moves your learning from short-term memory to long-term memory when you are sleeping, right? So fun fact number 2, when you write things down, it boosts your memory. Writing things down boosts your memory significantly. When you hear something, you only remember about 10% of what you heard. But when you hear, you write down, you read what you are written, you remember about 70% of them. So you want to move your memory from a 10% level to 70% level, start writing what you learn. Start writing what you learn. That is why I recommend for everybody, you need to have a journal. So beyond the notes you keep in school, have a journal for your own personal learning. So you have read your notes in school, now you're trying to recall the things you have read. Use a journal for that. Write it down. Don't try to recall something and just say it into the air. Try to recall, you say it, and then you write it down. It makes the neural connections solid. So your neural connections are more solid when you incorporate writing into your recall system. So writing boosts your memory. When you write something, your brain pays extra attention and it remembers it better. It's like putting sticky notes on your thoughts. So many of us, maybe if you have a study area or something, you use sticky notes. What do you do with sticky notes? You pick items and then you put them on your board. That's exactly what happens when you write things down. So your brain is like putting information on sticky notes and putting them on your memory. So you're able to recall things. You're able to recall, oh yeah, this is what this means, this is what that means. Why? Because you've written it down. At times when you close your eyes, you are able to replay and recreate what you wrote down and where you wrote it down. That is your memory at work. So writing has a whole lot of benefits for you. Most of the time you want to write your exams, what happens is you are revising, you sit down, and then they ask you a question, you say it, and you're like, wow, you know it. You get to the exam hall and then you see that you've forgotten. It is not because you are dull, it's because you didn't complete the recall process. You did your recall process to a point and then it stopped. Don't ever do that. Complete your recall process. And for you to complete that recall process, when someone asks a question and you say it, write it down. You don't have to write the entire thing down. Like I told you, your brain functions better with pictures. So what happens, you can even use a picture to illustrate what you said. But please, when you recite something, your recall process is not complete until it is written down. So write it down. Make it a habit to write down what you recall. So, question, do you have a notebook where you write down the cool things you learned? Because learning is interesting. Learning is cool. So get a notebook, a journal, writing down. Don't use your phone. Don't use your iPad or whatever pad you use. Use a book and a pen. A book and a pencil. Let your hand do the actual writing. Let your eyes see what you are writing. Feel what you are doing. Feel it. It's part of the learning process. It's easier for your brain to recall when you put a lot of feeling into what you're doing. Right? So fun fact number 3, your brain grows fastest when you make mistakes. I know you've been taught a lot about mistakes, but let me tell you something. Mistakes are like an avenue for your brain to grow. Why do people make mistakes? You only make mistakes when you are trying to learn something new, or you are trying to learn a new method to do something you've always done. Let me say it again. You make a mistake when you're trying to learn something new, or you are trying to learn a new method for doing something you have always done. So mistakes are a sign of growth. Imagine a young child trying to learning how to walk. They fall down a lot of times before they're able to get it. Falling down is a mistake, but why are they falling down? They are falling down because they are trying to express their learning ability. So stop being afraid of mistakes. Stop castigating yourself, punishing yourself when you make a mistake. It is a sign that you are trying to get better. So when you make a mistake, your brain is expanding, your brain is learning more, right? So mistakes are not bad. They are like fertilizers for your brain. Every time you mess things up, you are trying to figure things out, right? So when you make a mistake and then you figure out the right thing and you do it, your brain has really expanded a great deal. So when I make a mistake and I look at my mistake and I figure out a way around it, or even if I ask for help and now I know how to figure it out and I do it again, you know what my brain has done? It has built a stronger neural pathway of learning. So when you make a mistake, the mistake you can make as regards making a mistake is when you don't try to do it again. When you don't try to do it again, that means you've lost the learning behind the mistake. However, if you make a mistake and you come back to it and you figure it out, or you ask for help and someone gives you, they tell you how to do it, and then you go back and do it again, you have created a stronger neural pathway of learning. Don't run away from mistakes and don't hide your mistakes. They are an indication that you are growing. They give you a pointer to the fact that you still have a lot of opportunities to grow. So when you make a mistake, embrace it, figure it out, do it again, and be happy with yourself that yes, you have learned something new. Mistakes come when we are trying to learn something new, and until you make it a habit to learn something new, you are not really growing academically. And even beyond academics, mistakes show that you are expressing yourself, you are expanding your learning, and you are getting better at what you are doing. So let me ask you a question. When was the last time you made a mistake that later helped you learn effectively? When was the last time maybe you got your sum wrong in mathematics, or maybe you missed your calculation in physics? You went back to it and then you're able to get it. When was the last time? If you can recall at all, you will see that after you're able to get it, you might never forget that thing again. How is it that you are not able to forget it? Because your brain will hold on to that information. Your brain doesn't want to make that mistake anymore. So when learning comes from a previous mistake, it sticks better. So mistakes at times, you can look at them and say they're a blessing. You make a mistake, you find a way around it, your brain holds on to that to that solution. You hardly ever forget it because your brain doesn't want to go back to that mistake level anymore. Now, for it to be at the higher level, it holds on to the solution that you've already presented to it. So that is how it works, children. That's exactly how it works. So you need to get to that point of saying, mistakes are good. They are okay. I must not stay on the point of mistake. When I make a mistake, I figure it out, I correct myself, and that learning sticks with me for life. Right? So number 4, children, the more excited you are, the faster your brain learns. The more excited you are, the faster your brain learns. Like I tell people, when your body is grooving, when you're excited, maybe you are exercising, you are moving, you are doing something exciting. When your body is moving, your brain is grooving. When your body is moving, your brain is grooving. Excitement excites the brain, and you learn better when you're excited. So let me cite an example for you. So let's say you are 18 years old and you're trying to learn how to drive. And your dad wants to teach you how to drive, and he puts you behind the wheel. And he tells you exciting stories about how he drove from one city to another, having fun, enjoying himself. How well do you think you'll be able to learn how to drive? Trust me, the understanding will come so quickly because you also want to go and enjoy yourself. However, let's flip the coin. Let's say he puts you behind the wheel and he begins to tell you about how he was making mistakes when he started driving, and then he has to be repairing people's cars, and maybe somebody even wanted to get him arrested. What's going to happen to you? You lose interest in learning how to drive. It will take a lot for you to get back to that point of saying, I'm really excited about learning how to drive. Excitement makes you learn better. It makes you learn faster. So when you are curious, you want to know what's at the other side of what you are trying to learn. You are excited, you're having fun, your brain releases a lot of chemicals that make learning easier and faster. We call that chemical serotonin and dopamine, right? Because you are eager, you are anticipating what is at the other side of what I'm learning. So your brain is excited and you are getting all your information right. So anytime you're going to school, think of something exciting that you can be looking forward to seeing in school. Think of the excitement of new learning. Get yourself excited. It will help your learning. That is why when you see a child in a school that he or she doesn't like, it reflects in their academics. If you go to a school you don't like, it will reflect on your academics. If you go to a school you love, it will reflect on your academics. If you are taught by a teacher that you're excited about, it will reflect in your academics. If the people in your class are people who are loving and caring and always excited, it will reflect in your academics.
This is a preview file.
Make sure you surround yourself with excitement. Make sure you are excited when you are ready. That's why some people, they play music, soft music, when they're learning, when they are reading, personal reading. Why? Because they just want to sustain that level of excitement. It allows your brain learn very well. So let me ask you a question. What makes a learning fun for you? Do you like to gamify what you learn? Do you want to turn it into a game? Or do you like to turn what you are learned into a story or into a picture? What excites you? What excites you? How often do you use those parameters when you are learning? How often? If you love these stories, how often do you turn your notes into storybooks? Mini storybooks with all the information you are trying to learn. How often do you do that? Those are the things that really embed learning. They make learning exciting, and then they make your brain function at capacity. So your brain is awesome, children, and it works best when you take care of it. Everything works best when you take care of it, especially your brain. So sleep well, write down your ideas, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because those are the things that help your brain to grow. And remember, the more excited you are to learn, the faster your brain soaks it all up. Be excited. So I'm excited to have you around today. It's always my pleasure when I have you here. Did you enjoy our class today? Don't forget to like the video. Drop a comment. You have a question, please drop it in the comment section. Or you want to tag somebody that you want to, who you want to see this video to. Feel free to do that. So like the video, comments, make your comments, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you have learned in this series of The Power in Your Head. And I look forward to seeing you on board in my next series. Goodbye and God bless you.